welcome, welcome. I'm Dee, and this is the Unguided Life where I am taking it one day at a time. You guys along for the journey to hold me accountable as I budget my way through life. We need to close out week 4 of our February budget. Yes, February budget is coming to a close. But before we close it out, we must find out how our last week was so we can kind of see when we close out our month if we reached our goals. Okay, so the first thing first is I always pull out the monthly budget overview detail worksheet, and the reason is because it tells me about the expenses. I verify that I have placed checks on every item because, again, we're towards the end of the month, so all bills should have been paid out or money have been assigned. Okay, let's set that to the side. Then we have our spending record. As you can see, we have January and this is February. I color code so I know exactly what happened from week to week. So since we're in week 4, we're going to choose another color. Let's choose this color. Okay, let's end it with a reddish color. So I didn't have that many transactions, which is good, but we'll get into exactly what they were when we discuss our weekly check-in. So I do need to get my other ink pen because I use this. And I'm all in a rush and everything, and I forgot to do my new thing is by picking a little quote from my tea of the week. And it says, appreciate yourself and honor your soul. This speaks so much to me as I've been working on my mental health this week. This is right on point. So we're going to put that aside. And then we're going to move this to the side as well. So I write in the actual column red, and so that's what we have done. So as far as expenses, the total expenses that I have actually paid out is $261. Okay, when it came to food, I only had 3 purchases. I had my home chef, I had went to Harris Teeter, and I went to Panera. So that's $53.59. Then gas, I didn't spend anything in gas. I'm still riding on that same gas. I haven't did any side gigs. I haven't really been anywhere far, but I know this weekend I'll fill up. And then I'll see, I know a lot of people have been talking about the gas prices, and when I don't need it, I don't look over there. So I'm hoping it hasn't tipped over to $4, but again, I don't plan on going anywhere far, so we good to go. If I just have to put a little in to make sure I can go to and from the gym, I'm still like not feeling the side gigs, but we'll get there, y'all. Personal. So in personal, I had 2 transactions, $22.45, and that was at Sally Beauty's. I know it looks like I'm having an issue with Sally. It's just it's just easier. It's the closest beauty supply to me where I don't have to go far, and I get rewards. So and then lastly is the style seat, because I do have an appointment for my hair that will fall into our March budget, but I have to pay the style seat fee. So that is $23.57. And the reason why I paused is because I've been trying to figure out why my envelope system account was over that amount. So I gotta, when I do my, what do you call it? Credit card expense tracker, I'll just verify that, because in regards to, because I thought that even I accounted for these transactions, but we'll see in just a second. So what's remaining, and since we're well, I won't use black. I used to use black because I'm closing out, but I'm closing out the week, but I'm not closing out the budget yet. Okay, so you're like, that's weird, but yeah. So I'm going to put this in green. So that's 39, and then we're going to do 63 minus 53.59, and I'll tell you why I'm not officially closing it out. $9.41. We have $75.39. And lastly, we have $38.43 minus $23.57, and that is $14.86. So this is first, every column has green. Okay, we're seeing green. Now we don't want to see green expenses because that means that everything hasn't either posted to my credit card or came out of my account, but I'll explain to you why. We still have that $39. And so we're going to move this to the side, and then we're going to talk about the unbudgeted. So this is my checking buffer. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that, but it's my checking buffer and my amount for, I guess, the unbudgeted portion when I have unbudgeted transaction, not like on my credit card, but this is simply bills, something to carry. Bills are something unexpected due to, and categories such as sinking funds or envelope system. So with all that being said, you should see two left transactions. So I had one on the 21st and one on the 22nd. And you say, D, why are you in a lift if you got a vehicle? Because Savannah was acting up. So Savannah was acting up, so I had to take her to the mechanic, and I had to elicit lift. And so because I have a sinking fund for my car, I decided to reimburse this account and put that money back. So that brought that amount back up to $32. So down here, we need to reflect that we took that money out. I put the actuals here, but going forward, I'm just going to round up or round down, one around based on the rounding rules, to ensure that we don't have to go through all this. But the actual amount for the lift was $23.28. So I'm going to go ahead and I can close out of this. I don't have to hold on to that because we don't have too much going on. 173.52. Nope. 173.82 plus 50 plus $50.03 minus $68.99 minus $23.28. That leaves me with $181.58. So when we do our budget closeout, we already know we've done this. What I'll do is I need to make sure that is the right amount. And then we'll put a check. So this is our expense tracker. This is for our credit card. We are on 2 worksheets because we still have the unbudgeted transactions that's going to be paid off when we do our monthly payment. So we're going to sit that aside because right now we're here. We're here, and we need to actually color code. And I don't know why I can't always, it's probably, I don't have it, but I'll show it here. I was looking for the highlighter cheat sheet because y'all know I'll be messing up. So we had a couple of things. So let me get all of the colors out. We should be good with that. So first thing first, let's talk about bills. So we had 2 bills, and that was that PayPal, and then we had our OnStar. Okay, so we can move that to the side. Then the next thing we're going to talk about is we do envelope system in purple. So I had 2 transactions, and we just discussed that. Okay, so all right. Then we had one unbudgeted transaction. So I ended up going to Target, and I wasn't planning on doing that, but I needed to pick up some personal items, and it was nothing left in my personal category. Okay, so that is unbudgeted charge because I wasn't expecting to go there. And then lastly, we have sinking funds. So sinking funds to me are mini savings accounts. So I did have to purchase my airline ticket for the trip I'm taking later on in the year. It was money put aside for that, so something that outside of my budget, so I didn't have to worry about pulling from that, but I did put it on my credit card to get some points. And then I went to the farmers market and I went to Walmart, and so I'm pulling that actually from my side income because there's money there and I need to do something with it. So what we'll do is, before we see how much we need to pay for each category, we need to go ahead and calculate everything. So first thing first is, in week 4 unbudgeted, we only had one transaction, and was that $22.53. Then for sinking funds, we had the $346.70. Then the trip insurance, and I had to purchase the trip insurance with this airline ticket because this particular credit card does not cover insurance. My other one does, but it doesn't give me as much points, so that's why I use this one. No biggie. Then we have the farmers market, which is $22, and then we have Walmart, which is $14.17. And so that is a total of $409.12. Then we have the envelope system, which we have the $22.45 and $1.12. So that's $23.57. Then we have bills. We had the $15.03 and the $15.99. So that leaves $31.02, and we didn't have any fees, so we're good with that. Okay, so the audio is gone. I know why it's gone, because where my phone was when I'm on the clamps, and I usually check and make sure I put the volume up so I can be heard. I didn't have my earpiece on. So nonetheless, here we are with a voiceover. It's fine. So I redid the credit card expense tracker because I had messed it up with a lot of whiteout and just looked messy. So I'm just showing that I already completed the expense tracking totals. As you can see, they have checks because that let me know these are the categories that are going to be paid for week number 4. So let's go ahead and we're going to discuss that. Starting with the first payment, the unbudgeted. So I decided that I was going to pay the unbudgeted portion of the week 4 transactions because I had money left over from a bill or a miscellaneous expense that I didn't do. So I decided to put the $22.53 towards that transaction. Okay. So also what I'm changing is when I make payments in the description, I'm going to say what account it's coming from, either a nickname or the actual bank name, because it's a girl be forgetting. Okay. She be like, when is it supposed to go out? Which account is supposed to go out of? What does this include? So now I'm going to write the actual bank so I won't get confused in the future. So this unbudgeted portion is going to come out of the bills account because that's where the $39 is being housed. Okay, so that's why I put that there. It is still a payment, so I'm going to put that there as well, and it don't earn any points. The next thing is sinking funds. So with the sinking funds, they're in different savings accounts. I have multiple savings accounts with multiple banks for my different sinking funds. Okay, so what I decided to do is whenever I have a sinking fund transaction, it's actually transferred to where I house the money for my envelope system, which is Discover. So I am writing that the money is going to come from Discover. So I know when I make the payment to make sure that money is in that particular account. Okay. Then the next transaction is going to actually be the envelope system transactions. And it's stated that money is housed in Discover. So I don't have to move money around. It is in there. It's just easier for me to have money in areas and pull from because it's easy accessible, and to know where it's coming from, like on my paper, makes it easier for me to track that account. Okay. So then the last payment we're going to do is actually the bills payment. Okay. So I had 2 bills to come out. So I need to go ahead and pay those bills. And that is going to come out of the bills accounts. So though I'm showing them as separate transactions, as I stated before, I'm only able to make 3 transactions with this particular card. And I only can make 1 at a time for the same day for each account. So I'll just add the 2 together for the bills and Discover, and that's what I'll pull out. And so you should see those payments right now. Now I'm just going in and seeing what the balance is after I make these payments. And it's important for me to do that because I want the balance to be what I started with. So for going into week 4, because that amount carried over to our March bill. So we need to make sure that the balance ends at $128.10. And it does. And everything is well. I'll go ahead off camera and I'll highlight those items green. I've already put my dots next to the transactions that I covered in the video before that I cut out because it was messed up. And yeah, we are all done. Week 4 is closed. So when we do our closeout, it'd be so much easier. All right, y'all. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to get out of here. Peace.